I have some stuff that I haven't shown you yet, and I was just kind of wondering, maybe later you want to come by and watch it with me. Okay.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the first installment of Two Corys Forever. What I'm thinking is the world's first only like Two Corys podcast. I may be wrong on that, but we're definitely going to be the best one. And we are brought to you by PartyWave Stickers. We'll hear a little bit more about them later. I'm your host, Adan, aka Staunch.
And I'm your co-host, Ken, at Black Maria LLC.
Hell yeah, and I'm very happy that we met. We're both like oddly, into this stuff, like way too deep into it. I love finding other people that are a little more obsessed with this Corey stuff than they should be. So,
some people would say obsessed. Like,
yeah, some people would say obsessed. I call it, it's admiration. I'm a fan of both of these guys. I'm sadly, as we all know, the Hamster's not around anymore. But his legacy needs to be carried on in more ways than one. And Feldman's out there doing this thing, and we all got to stand by our dog. So
exactly.
I'm happy to have you on, man. I'm glad I'm like real quick. I was like, we should probably start a podcast or something. We should dedicate a podcast to the dudes. So I'm glad that you agreed to all this, man.
Yeah, I'm honored to be asked, man. Like, big fan of your work, and it was your channel in general that really helped springboard the whole resurgence for me into the whole world of their filmographies and all the stuff they got involved with over the years. So
hell yeah, man. Well, that's nice to hear too. Like I get hit up all the time, there's a lot of haters too, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of fans out there. Yeah, for sure. And there's a lot of fans out there, and I'm glad that they're reaching out to me, and I have a whole chunk of viewership that is just from the Two Corys audience. So I figured, hey, why not dig a little deeper into it? And so what we're doing tonight, what this podcast was, like I said, we're going to take either one film from each of the guys, or do a focus on just like a Two Corys film or a Two Corys property. And so to kick it off, man, I think we picked some pretty good episodes here, pretty good movies here. If you want to tell the guys a little bit about it.
I guess we'd call this double bill the Corys and something in the trunk. Double bill.
Yeah.
I guess the first one we're starting off with is Dream Machine. If you want to tell them a little bit more about the plot, because I think you're more familiar with it.
Yeah, well, it's funny when it comes to Dream Machine. Like, I can give the plot rundown, or I can do it justice and just read the IMDb plot rundown. Because it is hilarious. I don't know if you ever read that. Let's check it out. Let me let me bring it up real quick. I couldn't sum it up better than myself. The IMDb plot rundown goes: Barry drives his parents to the airport, then tunes a rich woman's piano. The husband's body is in the trunk. Then there's their fraternity's extreme initiation ritual. Will he get his dream girl? I mean, that says it all.
This thing is so hot.
Barry Davis is an all-American boy whose all-American dreams
You don't take a girl like Robin out in the bug.
have just been fulfilled.
Would you like to have a car like this? I'm giving you this car.
Pretty weird that Mrs. Chamberlain gives me $100,000 Porsche for tuning her piano.
Now the hot babe is up front,
Yes! Woo!
but in the trunk
Something stinks here, Barry, and it isn't your garbage.
is a real stiff.
There's a dead body in here, okay? He borrows a cadaver from the college lab to scare the hell out of you, which he's done, and then he returns it. All right, you little wise ass. You've had your fun. Give me the keys. Yeah, I take a girl out on a date, we almost get killed, and my Porsche almost gets totaled. This is just the beginning, pal.
Corey Haim stars in Dream Machine.
More
And I mean, the Dream Girl barely factors into the main plot at all. Like, that was one of my notes I had for it.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's a real bizarre flick, man. Like, this one, it stands out as one of the Hamster's more odd movies, and that says a lot, But we'll get into that.
That's definitely
in a bit.
bold statement.
Yeah, for sure. I know. Yeah, we have a lot to cover on this series, and I plan on keeping it going. So hey, we're gonna get through them. And the second film for tonight, like you said, it's The theme is the Coreys with something in the trunk. This one we have Round Trip to Heaven. This kind of reunites Zach Galligan and Corey Feldman ever since Gremlins, and I'm not actually a big fan of Gremlins. I guess we'll get to that one later, later down the line. But and of course we'll see them reunite in Stormtrooper, which man, you've seen that one, correct?
I have not. I haven't been able to find a copy of it, nor is it streaming anywhere. So it's one on the list.
I found a copy of that at our local Goodwill. It was just like on DVD. Just was like, what the hell? He's not like Feldman's not on the cover or nothing. I believe that's a Jim Wynorski movie, and it is horrible. So. It is bad.
it's one of those Echo Bridge DVDs, I believe, right?
Yes.
Cheapo.
Yeah.
Same
There's
company
a copy
that put out a bunch of those.
Yeah. It's one of those where it's like you can find different random shitty covers, you know. It's pretty bad, man. If I can dig it up, I'll send it your way. I know it's kind of pricey. I think that we should probably let people know. We're pretty far away from each other right now. I'm in South Texas, and where are you located?
I'm in Western Canada.
Western Canada, yeah. So quite some miles between us. So it's nice to see the fandom, you know, crosses borders.
It stretches far and wide.
Yeah, which is another reason I wanted to do this. I think we can get a pretty cool broad audience here that appreciates things like a Round Trip to Heaven, which is just a strange USA Up All Night kind of Skinamax movie. Like it's I'd say between the two, between the two, it's the more entertaining one, I'd say. But again,
100%.
Yeah, that says a lot, but it also doesn't say much. You know, it's like that's another theme we're gonna run into while talking about some of these guys' movies, especially like the early '90s or late '90s kind of stuff, because it got very interesting. That's my favorite era of the two Coreys is like the weird '90s stuff. So this is a great way to start.
Have just been fulfilled.
Would you like to have a car like this? I'm giving you this car.
Pretty weird that Mrs. Chamberlain gives me $100,000 Porsche for tuning her piano.
Now the hot babe is up front.
Yes! Woo!
But in the trunk...
Something stinks here, Barry, and it is in your garbage.
...is a real stiff.
There's a dead body in here, okay? He borrows a cadaver from the college lab to scare the hell out of you, which he's done, and then he returns it.
All right, you little wise ass. You've had your fun. Give me the keys.
Yeah, I take a girl out on a date, we almost get killed, and my Porsche almost gets totaled. This is just the beginning, pal.
Corey Haim stars in Dream Machine.
Yeah, and it's like I think the guys were trying to separate from each other. Like the two Coreys were tired of being referred to as the two Coreys around this time. So you saw the split. You saw like the Hamster kind of do more like kind of action movies, action led stuff. Feldog was doing the same. He was like almost like an action star for a little bit with like, Edge of Honor and stuff like that. But then this was also like right on the cusp of both of their major drug issues about to really kind of take over their careers too. So it's kind of a weird time for both of the fellas here. And even though they separated, they were still teamed up with someone else, like another quote unquote teen star, and put into another themed movie. They're both basically like the same kind of theme. They're both in cars and they're doing like a little road trip situation. There's heavy like 90s action movie vibes in both of them. And it's like and I think it all has kind of to do with like, License to Drive, that being kind of like a car themed movie and keeping the car thing going. And it's
Dream Machine in particular with that, where I think that was the main movie they pushed on the back of the box, was like Corey Haim from License to Drive. So it was trying to make that connection there.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, in Dream Machine, it's like it's such an odd movie because it doesn't really go all in. Like you don't really get the feeling that there's like a dream girl or that there's like any like he even likes this girl really. She seems just like literally just like a object of his affection, like a whatever. There's really no like no plot line, no that lends to any real emotion here. The movie seems real on the fly. It's strange. It almost feels like it was like just like a 90s kind of actioner like for cable that hey, Corey Haim could be in this, but he needs to play off somebody. Well, let's add this other character. And why not Evan Richards, right? I mean,
yeah,
shit.
I can only imagine his reaction when he got that call. I'm like, oh, I got that.
Yeah, he's like, oh wow, I'm gonna be in. Like he was also in Rock and Roll High School Forever. Like both those
Right
films got
before,
released within a year of each other, or the same year, I forget. So it's like he got to work with both of the guys. It's crazy.
I'm assuming much better circumstances on Dream Machine, considering the stuff that happened on Rock and Roll High School, but there's very little info out there to really clarify that.
Yeah, on Dream Machine, there's really nothing out there. It's insane, and for what the movie is, it's cool. Like it is. Watching it again, I will say, like I love seeing Corey Haim do his thing. Like, you watch Corey Haim, Me, Myself, and I, and he talks about how he loves sports. He likes doing all this shit. So I love it whenever they let him do that in movies. Like when he gets to play football, he's always like. And every time he plays football, he goes for that long pass. It's like a little homage to Lucas, every time it happens. And he's always playing some sport or doing something active, like the intro to Roller Boys and shit like that. So it's like
Roller Boys was the first thing I thought of. Was like when I watched that one for the first time, it was like immediate flashbacks to his hockey footage from that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I feel like when he's doing that, he's motivated and he's there for a reason. He's having a good time and he's in good spirits. That's the vibe I get. If he's going out.
Yeah, even if the script is lesser kind of quality, he's like, well, at least I get to do some sort of sports activities.
For sure, yeah. And like the Hamster looks great in this movie. He's healthy. He looks good. The charisma is like still there. The spark is there. You know what I mean? So that was very cool. One weird thing I did notice rewatching this movie. I don't know if you picked up on this or not. But it really does feel that Evan Richards was not on the set, like up until he knocks on the door and they have that scene together, where they're both in the frame together. Because like up until then, they're always shot separately.
It looks like it could possibly like have been shot at completely different times, and depending on schedules or something.
It's weird because like that beginning of the movie, the Hamster's like getting ready, he's packing up his bag and he's standing at the window, and then Evan is like kind of hidden under this like desk area, and it's just like chopped back and forth. And then
let's just talk. Let's not to interrupt, but let's just talk about that scene first. This is our hero of the movie, and we're introduced to him after following the fraternity marshmallow scene, which is just what the actual fuck.
How could we forget that? Yeah.
But we get back
marshmallows.
Jesus Christ, traumatized me from marshmallows for a bit afterwards. Yeah. But we get back with him, and he's the hero of the movie, and we're following him. Like, okay, and he goes to the window and calls. It's the girl's name, Robin, I think, and
I think so.
Creepily just hangs on the phone and watches her through the window, and it's like, is this supposed to be endearing? Is this supposed to be like?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I mean, it's Corey Haim. It's the Hamster, so it ends up working somehow. But it's still like...
Yeah, exactly.
What was
it's like, it works if it's like Corey Haim or like, 90s Edward Furlong or something. It's like...
Yeah, swap in like modern day Edward Furlong. It can be
and it's not cool anymore. It has to be little Eddie Furlong. And perhaps like the most interesting thing about the actual production of Dream Machine is that, as I stated, this film was shot out in Utah, and it was kind of done to get Corey away from LA and away from the lifestyle and whatnot. And they thought it'd be a good fit for him. So, once he got out there and the film got going, well, turns out this entire production was brought to us by the fine people at Feature Films for Families, not directly, but their entire crew and everything. And I think we talked about this before the episode about the film The Buttercream Gang, the classic gangster film featuring some of the best performances of the early 90s. And it's crazy to see that like this is the same producer, like the same writers, the same guy I think that did the music, everything like that. And some big names here. And in fact, like the guy that directed this film was also the producer of the original Where the Red Fern Grows, and he actually directed the remake of that film. So like these ties, they go deep, man. It's just a wholesome Utah production overall. But yeah, it's kind of ironic that like the Buttercream Gang crew and that whole crew worked on this film because later on, Feldman would work with one of the actors. If you've seen the movie, you know Michael D. Weathered, fucking legend. Pete, I know you know what I'm talking about. So I can't wait to get to Born Bad eventually. That's gonna be fun. But yeah, it's
Yeah, I really
basically like
dug that one.
yeah, that movie's awesome. So that's like I'm talking like they were putting these guys in these like '90s thrillers. That one's like a bank caper, you know. So they were just all over the place. And then of course that was probably in response to hey, there's Fast Getaway. We got Corey Haim robbing banks. Let's throw Corey Feldman in this bank robbing movie. Why not? As the getaway driver, because
As
goddamn
the getaway driver.
yeah, everything has to fall in line some way or another. It's crazy. And so that just keeps happening throughout their career as long as the Hamster was around. It's kind of funny. But yeah, so basically it was a whole Mormon crew that put together Dream Machine, and at
It
times
definitely
it
has that
feels
vibe.
yeah, it definitely does. It's like they don't want to push it too far, you know. And so that being said, it makes for a pretty strange movie, like a strange film that could have really been anybody. It feels real choppy, real thrown together. And I think like the funniest part of the film is at the very end, whenever he runs out and knocks the cop off the porch, all badass. You remember that? I don't know if you remember that, but he runs out and bam, just knocks the cop down, and it's like,
Yeah, don't shoot, it's the kid.
yeah. And then like Evan Richards runs up. He's like, oh, yeah, of course I called the cops. Like, of course I'm a
I knew
fucking narc.
something was up the whole time.
Yeah, he's like,
Fuck
that's why I
off.
left you here by yourself to deal with this guy, and I ran back and I got the guy because this script makes sense, Corey. Like that's why. It's oh my god. And
Yeah,
then
that was
like of
clearly
course,
just added in at the last minute. Like, oh,
yeah, it's like
maybe we
what is
need to grease the show
happening?
back up for some reason.
It's like was the script done like before y'all started shooting or I don't know. I wish Evan would give me more info on that. Because as I was telling you, for people that don't know out there, I made a documentary about Rock and Roll High School Forever, which was possibly my all-time favorite Corey Feldman movie.
And it's a fantastic documentary that you all should go and see.
Man. I appreciate that. You can check it out on my channel, Staunch TV, right now for free. And there's also a director's commentary uploaded with that. And it's called Forever, The Untold Story of Rock and Roll High School Forever, where I interview pretty much the whole cast and crew, aside from Corey, ironically. And I kind of built a friendship with Evan. Yeah, with Evan Richards, and he declined to be interviewed, you know, for reasons, whatever, it's fine. But he stayed in touch with me the whole filming process and all that, and we kind of just became friends. And Evan's a very cool dude, and he basically told me when it comes to Dream Machine that like it was such a cool experience. He said Corey was just a really nice dude. Everything went he said everything was just kind of smooth. It was an easy shoot, and there was no drama or nothing, which is nice to hear because you know. You hear people talk about all the drama with Corey Haim and filming and how hard he was to work with at times and blah 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 blah, you know. So I mean, at least it was a clean production, to say the least.
Yeah, I'm assuming it was overall good for him in the long term. Like it might have kind of kept him going a little bit longer.
But yeah, I guess you know that's about all there is to say when it comes to Dream Machine.
One thing to circle back around to Buttercream Gang, interestingly enough.
Yeah.
The actor who plays the jilted wife's butler Juan was it Don Shanks? Best known as Michael Myers from Halloween 5 and Dumb and Dumber, Sweet 16, Silent Night, Deadly Night. But he also, I guess, appeared in the Buttercream Gang sequel, Secret of Treasure Mountain.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one in at least a decade, but
oh yeah, it's been a
interesting
long time. Yeah, for sure. I forgot to mention Don Shanks. He's like the only other, I guess, name in the film, and that's like if you know who Don Shanks is, you know, like you said.
Barry's
I know
father. Barry's father's from like The Howling and Gremlins and stuff.
Yeah,
like that. Teen Wolf. Yeah.
Yeah. So you get like, I feel like those guys, and it's like Halloween. The Halloween that Don Shanks was in was also a Utah film. You know, it was shot out in
that's right,
Utah. So it's like it's a lot of those actors. It's a straight up just Utah production. You know, it's crazy.
That's a tight crew over there. Yeah.
Yeah, tight crew.
Guess what? Corey Haim and Corey Feldman are giving out their personal numbers. If you call 1-900-909-3700, you can listen to their private phone messages and get their personal number where you can leave them a message of your own. $2 the first minute, 45 cents each additional minute. Ask your parents before you call.
But one thing I did want to ask you, man, before we get into the next film, what would you say is your, I guess, least favorite Corey Feldman movie?
Oh man, there's some doozies out there for sure. Like you know, I think we both go into them and we can come out with things we appreciate about them, even if they're the worst piece of shit. But it's like, hey, Feldman's performance was good or something like that.
Yeah.
This one, this one doesn't. Fuck, this one doesn't have much of that. Have you ever seen Hooking Up?
I believe so. You have to give me a rundown on that one, because eventually those movies kind of start to blur together, you know,
meld together after a while. What was it? It's him and Brian O'Halloran from Clerks, and it's a guy from Perfect Strangers, and the Langoliers. I can never remember the actor's name, but they're the three quote unquote names.
Bronson Pinchot, right? Yeah.
Bronson Pinchot, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say I recommend going to watch it again. I don't know. It felt like the filmmaker should be put on a watch list, maybe. Like,
what are you doing hanging out with all these high school chicks all the time?
First of all, high school girls are fucking hot. Secondly, they love fucking older guys.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, man. Like, Feldog, we'll get to it when we start talking about Dream a Little Dream, Round Trip to Heaven. It's like it felt like it was almost in his contract in the early '90s that he had to have like tits in his face, or like scenes surrounded by naked women or something, because it gets pretty sleazy.
Insanely so. Where it's like,
yeah, and
I don't
especially
know.
when you get to stuff like Busted, it's like, what are you doing, dude? Like, you're directing this movie. You can do anything you want to do, and you're standing in a shower fully clothed with like naked girls. It's crazy, man.
I mean, that's just him living his best life. Like,
yeah, that's him doing his thing.
It's what we would all do in the same situation. So
it's like some part of me would want to do that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some part of me. But yeah, that's a good pick right there, man. Because like you said, you can look into his filmography, and there are some like even if you're looking at stuff that he's like billed as the star of, not just like in the film or whatever, there was like a lot of surprises. Like I recently watched She's Too Tall. Did you ever see that flick?
Oh God, that was a rough one, man. Holy shit.
One's hard, man. That one was rough. Yeah. It was interesting enough just seeing like that level of production, and seeing everyone try, you know, like everyone's trying so hard to not fucking throw their hands in the air. You know? That one was an interesting watch.
That was a weird one. It's the same director who did Life 101 with Haim, I believe.
I think so, yeah. And it also
so it's like totally different tonal shifts between the two.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, totally, for real. Like completely. That's another odd movie, Life 101. And then, of course, that was also like Bridget Nielsen. She did movies with both Coreys as well. Maybe that'll be an interesting movie. We can focus on actors one time that worked with both of the guys. That make for interesting show.
Definitely a lot of those connections in there.
For sure, yeah. But I'd have to say, man, Corey Feldman starring vehicle film that I think is just basically unwatchable. It'll change, I'm sure. Is I can't get through splatter.
Really?
Yeah, okay. I like it. Don't get me wrong. I like those types of movies, but it is so depressing to me that is Joe Dante.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's obvious like the budget wasn't all the way there, but it's like, I don't know, it comes across as that very Corman-esque DIY. Like, look, we put on a show, have kind of feel. So it has that charm,
and it's like I want to give him the benefit of the doubt that it's like, man, that's Joe Dante making this movie, but I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. Wait a minute, it's Joe Dante making this movie, you know? Maybe he has to be self-aware. He has to know that this looks unmotivated and how cheesy this all. He has to be aware. I'm not willing.
Sure.
Like it's
I'm
crazy,
sure he's
man.
aware. It's like he's just looking at the schedule of like, this is what we have to shoot and this is how long we have to shoot it in. Like,
yeah,
there's very little room to be artsy or inventive.
Yeah. It's like we rented this fucking mansion. We have to get out of here in 3 hours.
Exactly.
Tony Todd has to go home. Before we get to our next film, I want to give a shout out to one of our sponsors, PartyWave Stickers, who produces high quality outdoor durable graphics and stickers that are guaranteed to make your idea stick. You can place an order online 24/7 at partywavestickers.com. Stickers can be a great way to tell your story. As you know, you personalize your products or advertise your brand. So whatever the idea, they would love to hear it. PartyWave Stickers is based out of Corpus Christi, Texas, and they ship stickers throughout the United States.
And with that, we're happy to announce we've partnered up with PartyWave to make our first set of exclusive stickers for the new podcast. Best part, all you have to do is follow our podcast, like us on Instagram
at Staunch_TV
and at Black Maria LLC. DM us with your mailing address and we'll ship you one free. You heard that right, free. Limited supply, so get them while they last.
At Staunch_TV
and at Black Maria LLC on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.
Right now, I'll give you my private number. You call that number and you'll hear a recording, and I'll give you my personal number if you call that. And we'll wrap.
There's only one thing better.
I must be dreaming.
You are.
You are. Help! Hey!
Than having the ultimate fantasy.
I had a vision
about the girl of your dreams.
We are going to Palm Springs this weekend. April Summers is going to be there. All right, let me get this straight. You want us to take the Rolls Royce and go to Palm Springs? I think not.
On a road, there are some deadly curves. And in the room, they're playing America's most popular indoor sport.
Oh, that would be sex, right? Yeah.
So get set to get wet.
It's so strange. It's like whenever it's very much a, I guess like a Paul Blart kind of situation. How there was that movie, and then there was that other movie with Seth Rogen. How that happens. There's like similar films that get made. And I don't know if that was the case or if these producers are just being extra
similar
slimy,
ideas.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's weird that would happen to these guys around this time, because again, we have the plot here for Round Trip to Heaven. I mean, it's damn near the same thing, but done better, like funnier in my opinion. And let's see,
more stuff going on for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And unfortunately, the IMDb header isn't as entertaining, but I did want to read that. Sometimes I like the way these guys break it down. It says, Round Trip to Heaven. Since Larry works at a garage, he gets to use one of the Rolls Royces. There's only one problem. There's a briefcase full of money in the trunk. So when Larry and his cousin Steve decide to go to Palm Springs to look for Miss Right at a popular beauty pageant, yeah, the owner of the briefcase will do the impossible to get it back. And just like reading that, it reminds you of like a few other movies, which I don't see anything wrong with, of course, but it's like they're going for that formula. And I don't know, do you think they stuck the landing with this one?
I think overall, they kind of knew for the most part what kind of movie they were making, but there are certain moments where you're like, are they trying to turn it into subvert the genre a little bit?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, especially with like the the TNA throughout the movie, like it gets pretty Skinamaxy.
Yeah, you have all that nudity, and then by the time you get to the end, it's supposed to be this kind of schmaltzy, sweet little movie. It's like, what exactly was? You want to have your cake and eat it too, I guess.
No shit. I mean, and talk about a pretty decent soundtrack. Like, there's the head song to this one is pretty good. It's like that 90s kind of yuppie stuff, but I love it, man. And like the weird dream sequences and whatnot throughout the movie kind of ties things together. One of my favorite things about this movie is it basically kicks off with a heavy 90s action sequence and then goes right into Corey Feldman as a clown. Like, Basically,
Let's not mince words here. He's being flat out sexually assaulted by that woman.
Yeah, you're right. He is being sexually assaulted while he's dressed like a clown by a horny suburban wife.
Like that's your intro scene to Feldman. You're like,
Yeah.
all right, this is the movie we're in for.
Yeah, and I love that scene of him as a disheveled clown. It's so cool. And like how right off the bat they build a pretty good rapport between the guys. You got Zach Galligan and Corey Feldman. You see where they stand in their friendship, and that they're trying to like do this strange little weird business where they're clowns, I guess. I don't know. You get like that weird hustler vibe from them. And like in my opinion too, there's kind of like a strong Dumb and Dumber kind of lean on this whole story. Like these two nitwit kind of guys and the briefcase full of cash, and the hot girls, and it's like, it's kind of weird.
Oh, I never thought about those. Yeah, there's some connective tissue there.
Yeah, I've always thought that, like, because I of course saw this before, Dumb and Dumber, and I was like, why does this seem so familiar? And then of course every time the movie gets going, there's like a fantasy sequence or girls just zoom in on girls getting dressed and stuff like that. This is very much
the people
a movie
what they
of
pay for.
Yeah, exactly. I remember watching this. It must have been the edited version. It was on like USA Up All Night or something like that. I saw this around the same time that I remember watching Meatballs 4, so I saw this a bit later. But it's like, I remember this film also got a pretty big push. I've seen the trailer around a lot, and I remember in the video store seeing the posters. I wish I could have grabbed one of those. There's a pretty cool video store promo that's the Rolls Royce. It's a cardboard little car,
I'll put a picture to find one of those.
I know, I've been looking forever. The legendary Jake Perry's the only guy I know that has one. And it's like, so there was some some money behind this film. And of course, this is produced by Saban Films, the house that Power Rangers built, Haim Saban and that whole crew. They're basically the guys. What's up?
It was this viewing that I'd noticed the one. I can't remember which chase scene it was, but they go right by the Saban Entertainment building.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
Yeah, I can't remember which chase scene it was.
Yeah, and it's like it's very cool to see that because these guys, that production company, has some pretty crazy origins. They've done stuff with Corey Haim as well, And so seeing, I think even Corey Feldman, I want to say they did something later down the line, but they were producing some weird stuff back then. Like they produced that movie Susie Q. Did you ever see that with the Pink Ranger in it, Amy Jo Johnson?
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot that they produced that one.
That was like the whole thing is this whole Power Rangers crew, and this was like produced by the guy that like co-founded Power Rangers, and the same basically the same crew that did a lot of that worked on this weird TNA kind of 90s sex comedy. It's strange. And it's weird because like Feldman, he'll say how much he likes these like hot women, he likes beautiful girls and stuff, and then he surrounds himself with them in this movie, and there's like the object of his affection, the one that's like on the top tier. Meanwhile, they totally what's that?
April Summer, I think, is the the dream girl. Yeah,
for sure. And then they have, of course, they totally, she's all that. What's her name? Julie McCullough, I think it is. Who's
that was in my notes. They pull a pre Rachel Lee Cook on
her.
You're like,
they totally pull the she's all that on her. It's like she is obviously hot. I remember her from Growing Pains. And like she hooked up with Kirk Cameron and shit. So I recognized her from that right away. And it's like her in this movie, it's like, yeah, she's the one, like you see it coming from a mile away. But hey, at least there's some tropes in this movie and some comedy, and because like it's a little more, it's way more upbeat than Dream Machine was. And I'm happy to this is a movie I actually rewatch. Yeah, I actually rewatched this one. It's a fun movie. There's some laugh out loud stuff, but mainly from Miguel Nunez as the cab driver. That's some of my favorite
hysterical
stuff. Yeah, man. Hey, they just brought him in to like liven the place up for a bit, and he really does kind of steal the show. It's funny.
Yeah, I had one of his lines written down because it still kills me every time I hear it. I think it's when Ray Sharkey's character's pushing him through the desert to go get gas, and it was like, last thing I need is a tan. End up looking like my cousin. He was so black he went to night school, got counted absent.
Yeah, he went to night school, got counted absent.
Like, it's fucking cheesy, but I love shit like that. And his delivery is just pitch perfect.
Shoot, last thing I need is a tan. End up looking like my cousin. He was so black he went to night school and got counted absent. Shoot.
And it's like with a lesser actor, it wouldn't have been as funny. You get Miguel Nunez in there. I'm a big fan of that guy. Yeah, for sure. It was fucking Joanna, man. I mean, come on. I fucking love that dude. And so it's like right off the bat, it's a better movie, you know. And I don't want to like just compare them all the time, but they're so comparable. It's insane. You kind of have to. And this one even has like better 90s action stuff in it. And the Skinamax vibes here are actually done. I can't say tasteful, but definitely Skinamaxy. Like it's done to where like a younger kid could watch it and it'd be easier to edit. And I can see why this one still has some longevity.
Yeah, it feels like it was a movie by design that was, okay, well, we'll put the nudity in where we need it, then we'll need to be able to remove it easily without affecting the nerd for TV.
Exactly.
They had their eyes on all markets.
And it's like this one in particular, like it's some of my favorite Feldman. This is around that time, like I said, the Rock and Roll High School Forever kind of, like, I don't know how far apart the shoot was there. But again, he's looking good. He's looking spry. If his addiction was starting at the time, you cannot tell. And if there was any beef between him and Galligan, what's that?
I was going to say, I believe in his book, he says that this was one of the 2 first scripts that were sent to him following his return from rehab. So he was clean at this point.
Yeah, that's one thing that you had told me is that he did mention it in the book. Did he say anything else about it? Because I read the book, but it's been so long.
Yeah, there's very little. Like he pretty much says, despite being how did he put it? Like a cheesy TNA comedy. Like he remembers that everybody seemed to be happy that he was working again. So it gave him that extra juice that, all right, I'm working again and everybody's kind of rooting for me. So that was a big help for him. Right. And you can definitely see it in his performance. Like he's having a ball. So
like it looks like he wants to be there, you know. And you know what? One thing I don't think people realize is just how silly Corey Feldman actually is, like acting wise and film wise. Like a lot of these roles that he was taking, I think he was ecstatic to get, because if you just look a little deeper into the guy, you'll realize there's a lot of like old Hollywood vibes to him, a lot of old entertainment. Like the guy was brought up on stage as a kid, a lot of definitely like old vaudeville kind of hints to everything he did back then. And so like these wacky takes of these characters that are a little lambastic and a little lampoony, if you will. I mean, that was something that was definitely in his wheelhouse. We saw it even up to like his reality show appearances, some of them at least. And, little things like his appearances on TV shows like Son of the Beach and whatnot. In fact, he kind of has this character in his arsenal, if you will, that's this sleazy manager, and he talks like this, and hey guys, you like groupies? So he's doing things like that. It's like that's straight up. There's like Groucho Marx vibes. Like Feldman is a classic, just a classic professional when it comes to this kind of stuff. Like whereas with Galligan, at some points, it looks like he's just kind of going through the motions, if I'm being honest. But Feldman looks like he wants to be there.
Yeah, I can see like that kind of feeling from Galligan of, well, I was the guy in Gremlins, and this was the kid I worked with so many years ago, and he's just coming from rehab too with this chip on his shoulder, and he's still the guy above the name above my name. So
and you can't help but think that. I mean, and I can't speak too much on it, but it basically confirmed that a lot of that was going on. But that's the thing, man. It's like Feldman was basically,
you can't tell with their performances at all.
Yeah, no, not at all. Yeah. And Feldman, like, you can tell he was happy to be there. He's grateful to be the lead, like, the first build in this production. He's spending time on his career. He's there and he's able to do it. And that's the thing. Like, you can definitely see in this whole era that he was trying, he was there, and he was on point. And his performances were always good, regardless of the quality of the film. Like between this and like, Voodoo and stuff like that, it's like not necessarily big budget films, you know. But every one of his performances, in my opinion, yeah, he always delivered. Every one of his performances is different and in its own way, and he's trying something. He's trying to get a different look going. His mid-90s career, I feel, is very underrated. But after an 80s like they had, I mean, of course, like, what are you gonna do, you know?
Yeah, he was just trying to see what would stick, and it's really fascinating. It'll be fun to get into more of those into later episodes.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, as far as Round Trip to Heaven, I do think it is the better movie of the two. Rather formulaic, whatever. But I mean, I cannot help, like, at least once a year I put this movie on, and I recognize, okay, it's not that great, but it's one of my favorites from that whole era. And if you're a Corey Feldman fan, I mean, this is not as bad as it gets when it comes to the TNA stuff.
I'd recommend it,
yeah. And I do recommend it, yes, most definitely. So anything else about Round Trip to Heaven that you think we may have missed?
Yeah, this is another one pretty light on notes because there's like no info on it. But I did one interesting comparison between the two where I'd said with Dream Machine, you have kind of a lack of a real villain. He's just some doofus. It's like the world's worst criminal. And as far as like fearing him as an actual villain, it's really hard. Versus Ray Sharkey in this movie, I don't know if you know about his background. He had a fucking packed year in 1992.
No, I don't know.
It's weird because I mainly know Ray Sharkey from a little gem from 1993 with Burt Reynolds called Cop and a Half. I'm sure you're familiar with that one.
Oh yeah, for sure. I saw that in the theater.
Holy shit, man!
Yeah.
But I guess since 1980, Ray Sharkey had developed a $400 a day heroin habit, and it began to affect his career, and it became such a big thing, and blah blah blah. So he ended up getting this movie as just kind of a side gig.
Oh wow!
To pay bills or whatever. And was it 2 months before the release of the movie? He was arrested for drug possession in Vancouver.
Oh wow!
And then I think it was a month before the release, a former lover came forward and sued him for knowingly infecting her with the HIV virus, which he, I guess, contracted from dirty needles. Like, guy had a packed year when that movie came out.
Yeah, right. That's crazy. It's like polar opposites from like Feldman kind of, you know, conquering his addictions and whatnot, to have that kind of duality on set. That's pretty crazy.
So I can imagine too that might have had something to do with the public's perception of the movie at the time. They had that kind of stuff in the tabloids just before it coming out, and then it's like, hey, starring Ray Sharkey, and everybody, oh, he's that guy who infected that chick with AIDS. Like, Jesus Christ.
And that's the thing too. It's like all this shit's lost in time, but I mean, this is Hollywood still. You know, this stuff was this stuff was out there. It was in print. I was amazed to see, man, all the articles and whatnot when Corey Feldman was having trouble, how alienated he was by the press. It was just insane how these guys were treated, how heroin use was treated, and, you know, demonized just a few years before they were idolizing, you know, grunge rock and stuff like that, and heroin chic and whatnot. It's a crazy time, the 90s.
Oh, especially today when you compare to, like, there's all these counselors and support and understanding that it's a sickness, it's a disease and stuff like that, compared to how they were treated back in the day. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, back in the day, it's like, oh yeah, you know, we'll give him a shot. He's at a rehab. Let's spend some money. We'll put his face on a poster. Or hey, yeah, you're at a rehab. Good for you, kid. Maybe go make a movie in Utah and get your mind off things, rather than maybe take some time off and get your shit in order. You know, it's like, I don't know. It's insane. I always use Feldman as an example. Like this guy, I'm fascinated with, you know, I grew up watching these young actors. I've this fascination with teen stars. You know, when I was younger, that was like the dream. That's what I wanted. I was watching Jonathan Brandis on TV, River Phoenix and shit, and I wanted to be these people. And then I recognized very quick that a lot of them weren't making it. You know, they weren't surviving the game, if you will. And so the ones that did, your Macaulay Culkins, your Corey Feldmans, your Elijah Woods, like
Seth Green.
Yeah, Seth Green especially. That guy's been in Hollywood his whole life too. And it's like I admire that shit, and I will support anything these people do pretty much. And that's just where I'm coming from with this whole thing. So it's that's at the level. That's why I'm a fan of Corey, of both of the guys. I would have given anything to meet Corey Haim. That's one of my biggest regrets in life, is not taking advantage of it whenever he was around, trying to make the effort to, say hi.
Oh, same, man. Like all the years that I found out he'd been living in Toronto while I was over here, like Jesus Christ.
Oh man. Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, man. So I'm very happy you joined me for this. I think that's about all we got to say about both those films. I do recommend both of them. As they would make for an interesting double bill, actually. Like if you're on a lonely night.
Definitely worth pairing up. I would start with Dream Machine and with the power that is Round Trip to Heaven.
For sure, most definitely. I want to give a quick shout out again to our sponsor. I can't overstate how awesome these guys are. They're quality stuff, man. I got stickers from these guys maybe 5-6 years ago, and one of them's still on my card and still holding up. It's great quality stuff. And you can place an order 24/7 at PartyWaveStickers.com. And if you want a sticker, that they designed some stickers specifically for the podcast, and they are free. All you got to do is follow both of us. You got to follow the podcast, of course, but you got to follow us on both on Instagram. You can find me at Staunch TV. What about you, buddy?
Yeah, I'm at Black Maria LLC.
Yeah, so hit either one of us up with a DM with your mailing address, and we will ship you one for free. Limited supply, and right now it's only in the United States, sadly, but get them while they last.
We're working on ones for Canada, mark my words.
Yeah, we're gonna make it happen, man. But I do like that we're in different areas. I think we have a pretty solid fan base that's gonna join up and watch the show, listen to the show, watch it, whatever we're doing. And I really, I hope this keeps going. As for the next installment, though, I know we worked out a lot of different ideas. I was thinking it'd be fun to maybe let the guys vote if they're interested in voting on the next installment of the series. But I think if you want to vote for the next installment on the series, just go follow Staunch TV on YouTube, and I'll do a community post once I post this up, and you can interact with us. You can actively, have a take on the outcome of the next episode, and it's going to be fun. I think the next time around we may focus on some actual two Corey's, movies or whatever. So
a lot of cool, interesting episodes coming up. So thanks guys for watching, and hope you catch us on the next one. Cheers.